Hi everybody, my name is Spammals and welcome to Titanic Adventure Out of Time. This is an amazing, legendary game here in the Titanic community, and I haven't played this since I believe December 2014. It was one of the very first Titanic games to really blow up on the channel. I loved it. We played everything we possibly could with it, bar one thing. So the only thing outstanding, and it's been heavily requested over the years, is to go back and to do a proper tour of the ship. And on board the ship there are tour guides we can talk to, so that's what we're going to do in today's episode. So without any more stalling, let's begin! Even the menu screen's making me feel all nostalgic. Right, let's jump into this tour. Give me my mouse, man. Boosh! Is it triggering your feels yet? We don't get any narration with this one, so you have to suffer with my stupid ramblings. But there's the ship! Isn't it lovely? I remember from the comments, somebody pointed out and I never realised. We enter for like an F-deck porthole into a C-deck cabin. What's that about? So welcome on board. The game, as ever, starts in your cabin C-73 with our fantastic steward, Spammals, the most legendary of all Spammals that ever did Spammals. Let's have a chat. My man, speak to me.
I was wondering when you'd arrive. Welcome aboard the Titanic. I am Spammals.
Hi, Spammals.
I have a letter for you from Bruce Ismay.
Oh my god, this is amazing. Dear honoured guest, it is my pleasure to welcome you to our distinguished company of first-class passengers on board the Royal Mail steamer Titanic's maiden voyage to New York. This historic event, the very height of gracious and civilized travel in the 20th century, promises to be one that we shall all remember for years to come. No shit. The White Star Line has made every effort to ensure that your journey will be as luxurious as a sojourn... What is that word? A sojourn in the finest private home in England, and as pleasurable as a tour of the glittering capitals of Europe. Indeed, the Titanic's amenities are unsurpassed. All 9 of our decks are open for the exclusive inspection of the first-class passengers, and we invite you to explore at your leisure. You will find a schematic of the vessel here in your stateroom. Please have a pleasant voyage. Yours sincerely, James Bruce Ismay!
The line has instructed me to relay the following information. Like her twin sister, the Olympic, the Titanic was built at the shipyards of Harland and Wolff in Belfast, Ireland. Construction began in March 1909. At over 46,000 tons, the Titanic is the largest ship in the world. A triple-screw steamer, she has 3 propellers. This, one of the wing propellers, is 23 feet in diameter. The ship is powered by 29 coal-fired boilers and runs at a top speed of 23 knots. The ship is 882 feet, 9 inches long, and 92.5 feet wide. Stood on end, she would dwarf the great buildings of the world, including the planet's tallest, 750-foot-high Woolworth building in New York. The Titanic's outfitting was completed in March of this year. After only 1 day of sea trials, she proceeded directly to Southampton for provisioning and the boarding of her 2,200 passengers and crew. The ship is under the command of Captain E.J. Smith, who has over 40 years of experience on the sea. Most recently, he commanded the Olympic on her maiden voyage. We will arrive in New York no later than Thursday, April 18th, and possibly even earlier. The Titanic is your home until then. Please do not fail to avail yourself of the many luxuries and amusements she has to offer. Do you desire additional instructions?
Smithers, man, that was fantastic. You're a walking encyclopedia of knowledge that is involved in Titanic. I am done. So a quick gander of the cabin. We got our suitcase. We can't open it. Oh, we've got a sofa. Oh my god, that is amazing. And that hard to talk over the music so loud. Can I? Hang on. Fancy that. The volume's on low anyway. Honk if you're horny. Okay, well, let's go for a gander, and we'll step out and explore the RMS Titanic. So this was my first kind of experience of exploring Titanic. I got this for Christmas. Must have been in 1997. I actually have the disc right here, and even with the issues it has, like trying to run nowadays, I still recommend getting a copy of it just for your own collection's sake. Right. So we're on C deck of the Grand Staircase. Now this was made with the best knowledge at the time. There's going to be many inaccuracies, I mean, glaring straight ahead of us. Where's the artwork from the landing of the Grand Staircase? It's missing! Oh no! So to that degree, we're not going to go fact hunting. Oh, the purser's office is locked. Damn it! That shouldn't even be a door. That should be a and like I said, we're not going to go looking for trouble, okay? We can have a good time. Oh, the lifts. they're closed up. So this is one of the early annoyances, I guess, of the game. Not annoyance, that's the wrong word to use. Let's say frustration. One, it's so quick to like run past everything. My mind wants to look at the, you know, the lifts, but I got this really restricted view. I guess that kind of drive my passion to learn more about the ship so I could then see what I couldn't see in the game. But it's so lovely to be back. I literally haven't played this in like 2 years. And we're blitzing past the decks. You know what? We're going to go up to boat deck and then we'll work our way down and have good times all around. Oh, look at this. Can I please have a look? Oh, I thought you could look. There we go. Honor and glory. Crowning time. Oh, yeah. Dramatic zoom going on with the game. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, we're done. Boop. Yes, boat deck, and then we'll come inside, and then we'll head down the ship. That sounds like a smarter idea. Oh, the feels, the feels! Even just the sound of the wind. If I stop talking for a second, oh, you can even hear like the deck motors and stuff like that. Okay. Ooh. Oh, that piano. The music in this game is outstanding. Oh, it's not doing it. It must be on loop. Anyway, as I said in the intro, we have tour guides. It's amazing. Look at all these fabulous... There it is. Look at all these fabulous faces. As we transverse this magnificent vessel, we'll be encountering tour guides along the way who are going to give us a little bit of a story or some information along the way. So here we are on the bridge. We have Officer Morrow. And I'm sure everyone who's played this game remembers all their names. Let's have a chat, my man.
Welcome to the bridge. From this room, I have absolute control over this ship. These are the controls for the watertight doors. They connect the boiler and engine rooms below. Should any water enter, I can lower them instantly. They're controlled by an electric magnet. We can stay afloat indefinitely with this system. Not that we'll ever need to. We're making quite good time. Our location, let's see, not far from Newfoundland. The wireless operators are in touch with Cape Race, I believe. The wireless room is just astern of the bridge, should you wish to visit.
Thank you, Officer Morrow. So there you go. They're short and sweet. It's going to be nice. Can I get a look at this? Oh my God, we could steer the Titanic. The immersion in this game is outstanding. Maybe if I leave it over here, we will never hit the iceberg. All right, can I get an okay on this? Aha, I have saved all humankind because the Titanic not sinking evidently does that. Telephones. Oh, hi. Nice. Can I go to pizza? No, he's not talking to me anymore. Not a problem. So we're going to speed this up a teeny bit. Can I get onto the port side? Okay, so we're going to head down the port side of the ship after a brief turnaround and look. Hang on. I just wanted to see this view. It's wonderful. Oh, that mouse keeps getting in the way. I apologize. I will do better on the mouse control. Right, we're going to go back up. We're going to go visit the wireless room because there's a tour guide there. Oh my God, Morrow, you bastard. You're sneaking in behind my back again. I'll have you.
I do hope you aren't planning to send a wireless.
Me?
We have so many passenger messages.
What's with the eyes?
The operators hardly have time for a break. Strictly speaking, the wireless operators are employees of the Marconi Wireless Company. Mr. Marconi invented our system, you know. It's the most modern communications device on the high seas. The system operates with this key and a code of dots and dashes, or short and long signals. We're in constant contact with the ships around us in the nearest land stations. In fact, a message is coming in right now. Please come back later. Perhaps we can send your message.
Perhaps. Thank you for the brief little introduction to the world of wireless operations. Can we get a little fiddle with any of these, please? So we've got these pneumatic tubes. These would connect down to the bursar's office and such forth. You can send messages back and forth. It's fantastic. We can't interact with anything. That's kind of sucky. Morrow, I will get you. Right, we're leaving. Goodbye. So as we transverse our way down the boat deck, it's amazing. So we can go back onto the grand staircase if you so wish. Like this. Dear God, isn't it outstanding? Let's go back outside. I just really remember this game being so immersive for me back in 1997. I mean, I was like, how old was I back then? I was like 11 years old when I got this. Anyway, oh my God, we're climbing the compass tower. We're heading west. Oh, there's north over there. Can you place your bets? Oh, there's south. See, it was great because it's such an early time period, yeah, for computers and the internet and Titanic emerging into it. I mean, yeah, there have been Titanic games previous to this, but this was kind of the first on such a scale. And, you know, I'm so thankful for it because I don't know where I might have been today if I didn't play this game. It definitely was a massive fire that fueled, my passion for Titanic. It's amazing. So we are here on the second class boat deck, looking down after the ship. Not many people out. It's quite nippy and cold tonight. Would you not agree? People, can I talk to you? No. Where's our next tour guide at? Hang on. Is there any on boat deck? Aha. We've got gymnasium into the staircase. Then we could go all the way down to the Turkish baths, done our bedroom. Then we can come out onto Scotland Road, head aft, speak to Polly. Is it Polly? Oh no, it's Penny Pringle, isn't it? I'm so silly. And we can go up into the first class smoking room, and then we can try and get to the boiler room. There's a plan right there, would you not agree? Onward ho! So I'm going to try to jump cut as little as possible, because part of the fun of this game is just to transverse the ship. Oh my god! How is it going, my man? Let's have a chat.
I see you found the gymnasium. Nothing like staying fit while at sea, is there?
Yeah.
That's Mr. Lawrence Beasley and his friends on the mechanical camel and the horses. They're almost like the real thing. And try the rowing machines. With the sea air flowing through the windows, they're very invigorating. When you've done exercising, visit the Café Parisien for a bit of relaxation. It's quite pleasant. The boat deck's right outside. That's where they stole the lifeboats, just in case. Look at the time. I'll see you around. Goodbye.
Just in case. I love how everyone's like alluding, oh, there's lifeboats. Not gonna need them. Where's the deck space as it is? So here we are. Can I get a go on these? Oh, I think we can. Yeah, we can. Oh, yes! Ride that mechanical camel. Are we done having a good time? How is this exercise? I guess holding your thighs together to not fall off this thing. Okay, let's get off this. Thank you. Can we ride anything else? Okay, go. Turn all these oh yes, punching bag. We can definitely play with that. Oosh! You want some of this? Oh! Titanic sank, not Olympic, and it hit an iceberg. Didn't burn up on fire! There, I've let some frustrations out. That feels good about life. Can I get a go on the bike? Stu, you're in the way. Yeah, we can! Is that all you got? So as you can see, it's connected to this here, which is connected to that there. And it should, each of these is connected to the different bikes. You and a fellow friend could race each other, and you can hear the first guy that makes his thing go all the way around wins, or something like that, you know? Okay, we're done here. Let's go down and speak. Oh, what's her name? I've actually forgotten it, but she's so annoying. Darling, it's me. I've forgotten her name, but we're going to find out now. Let's have a chat.
Good evening.
Georgia.
You found the grand staircase. Lovely, isn't it? And of course you'll see absolutely everyone passing through here on their way to dinner. The Astors themselves just went down. Colonel John Jacob Astor is one of the world's wealthiest men, you know. I hear he's worth more than $107 million. They have one of the most expensive suites on board. Their tickets alone cost more than $4,000. Mrs. Astor, she was Miss Madeline Force of New York, is the Colonel's second wife. They've been married only since September, and they've been touring the continent since. I hear they're already expecting a child. I do hope the voyage isn't too difficult for poor Madeleine. She's only 19, can you imagine? Then there's Isidore Strauss. He's a partner in Macy's and Lord & Taylor in New York. Such lovely emporiums, don't you agree? He was born in Bavaria, but I hear he grew up in Georgia. I hear he even tried to join the Confederate Army. They wouldn't have him. Mrs. Strauss is along as well. Oh, that's Archie Butt. Major Archibald Willingham Butt, I should say. He's returning from a very important mission to the Pope in Rome, and he's carrying a message back to President Taft. But when he's off duty, Archie is such a gay blade. Have him tell you about being sent to the Pacific with a boatload of mules. He's just too amusing. The page is playing the roast beef of old England. That's the call to dinner. Perhaps we'll see you again later.
Perhaps, Lady Georgia. Oh, hi, it's me, it's Georgia. Have you seen Archie? I want to marry him. She's the most annoying passenger on board in this demo, or rather this tour, first class lounge. Can we have a peek at that? So the reading writing room is completely missing. It's locked. Really? Fine. I don't want to see your stupid first class lounge anyway. So let's go straight down. Let's go all the way down. Let's not waste any time, because this video is going to be pretty long if... The music is so good in this game. I mean, not my favorite of the tracks, but it's still just... every time you hear it, it's just, the feels, the emotions, the nostalgia. Oh my god. So we're coming down to E-Deck. So we've got Scotland Road straight there. I like to imagine, if you've seen all of my videos, you should know pretty much where Scotland Road is off the top of your head, because I always point it out. Let's go down to Aft Deck. Yeah, you do. One of the biggest faux pas of this game is the Turkish bath. While they did have historical consultants, the game was really restrictive of what they were doing and secretive. So, for example, they had one consultant, they would kind of have a roundabout question of asking what something should look like without explicitly telling them what they're doing with it. So in this instance, they didn't really use a historical consultant because they accidentally modeled Olympics Turkish bath and not Titanic's. There's a considerable difference. But I guess it's a nice bonus because with time moving on, we have now got a representation of Olympic and Titanic's Turkish baths. Something as a hidden bonus. Right, we have a tour guide in here, but wait first, let's check out the room. Oh, there's a mirror. Can I write GoFundMe on Indigo, Honor and Glory? No, no problem. Okay, so fun fact is on the wreck, the wooden frames of these sun loungers are still intact. It's just the fabrics disappeared. Boop. They even did a pretty good job on the wall tiles. Anyway, let's have a talk with you, my man.
Hello, Leyland Trask is the name. Luxurious, is it not? And
It
excellent
is.
for meditation. Do you know anything about time travel? It's curious. I was just reading this book. It was written in 1892, only 14 years ago. But it's weirdly modern. It's about a ship called the Titan, the largest ever built. It was supposed to be unsinkable, but in the book, the ship sinks with everyone on board. Gives me the shivers. But these shivers aren't that uncommon in my line of work, visions, predicting the future, that sort of thing. For the past couple of days, though, it's been very odd. I keep seeing newsboys and the word Carpathia. I can't figure it out at all. Good evening.
Oh my god, Carpathia! It's like a sign from the Greeks above. That Titan is a cursed name. So, the wreck of the Titan, futility. So this is a book, like you said, came up before the sinking of the Titanic, and it had striking resemblances. But I believe after the sinking, they kind of saw the opportunity to kind of get a second run out of this book. And I think they did edit it to have some, to bring it a little bit even closer to the Titanic tragedy. I don't want to say that as fact, so don't quote me on this one. Anyway, oh my god! Oh, the electric bath, everybody. You get inside there, it's full of light bulbs, and you can have yourself an electrifying time. Nothing bad ever happened in one of these. Let's get out of here to the Turkish bath. Abushi Bushi stands as the most preserved room in the entire wreck on the Titanic, but also one of the most difficult to access given its location in the wreck. But still, there's an ROV in there, so if you find yourself in there, you can scoop yourself up $1 million machine free of charge. You finders keepers and all of that jazz. Anyway, so this way looking forwards should take us all the way to the bow. And it does take us to the bow, but not quite to where I want to get at. Let's head aft and see if we bump into somebody, because that would be amazing. Scotland Road aft. Oh, more doors. Engine room. Oh, we're taking the opportunity. Oh, it's locked. Screw you, game. I didn't want to go to your stupid engine room anyway. Oh my god, can we have a talk?
This is the third class area. Are you lost? I can tell you're from first class. Really, you shouldn't be down here. This section is only for immigrants. I'm traveling with my brother, Jack. We're on our way to America and a new life. Jack says we shall have a huge farm in America.
Jack!
A big house as well.
Jack!
It was hard to leave though. Most of my family stayed in Ireland. We may never see them again. On the other hand, perhaps we'll get rich. Maybe someday I'll come home for a visit and travel first class on this very ship. These people are the Benellis. They're in the cabin next to mine. They're Italian and don't speak one word of English. I don't know how they'll survive in America. Perhaps they have relatives in New York. Certainly hope so. It's true. They do have automobiles on board. They're stowed forward of here. Just keep exploring. You're sure to find the cargo hold sooner or later.
Thanks for the heads up about the automobile in the cargo hold. Or here in England, we call them cars. Anyway, okay, second class stairs it is. Can we go even lower down? I want to get into that engine room now. I know we had a game plan, and I'm changing the game plan. Although this is Penny Pringle's cabin in the game. She's not home! I think she's hanging out on the second class staircase. Anyway, we're going to go into the engine room, and I remember the way like the back of my hand in this game. Turbine room! Wow, look at that. Magnificent bastard of a machine. Oh, and the most difficult puzzle in the entire game was this stupid boiler regulator. You had to twiddle. Can I even play the game? I can't play the game. You had to twiddle all of these dials to get these into the green and to get the condensers and everything going just fine. And until you do it, you aren't allowed to go into the engine room. I think I have a memory of At one point, this was going to be animated but for reasons unknown, they didn't do it. I kind of wish they did. But still, this is like the first time I felt like I got to explore the engine rooms. Yeah, not exactly one-to-one perfect. It doesn't matter. It has the same effect. It works. It's good. Not everything is about accuracy. Sometimes just given the experience, it has the same effect. Anyway, boilers. Oh, there's people down there. Oh, but where was the Ruby at? Was it in Coal Bunker 4? I'm wondering if it's still there. I think... Oh, can we? We cannot. Screw you, game. We had to take a rubaiyat, a jewel-encrusted book out of this and hide it in this. Otherwise, we get beaten up and mugged. Let's have a talk, Boiler my man. Boiler my man, Stoker dude.
Ooh, passengers aren't supposed to be in the boiler room, so watch those furnaces. The captain's ordered full speed ahead, and the boilers are steaming. We got 29 of these monsters to feed. Each one's got 3 furnaces, and we've got 6,000 tons of coal to shovel between here and New York. The steam's funneled to the engines that turn the propellers, so the stoker's job's important, but hard, shoveling coal over and over, all the way to America and back. They say the Titanic's the single largest thing to float. I can believe it. All very modern, except for this shoveling, which I've got to get back to. See you later, mate.
All the more to them. That's a really, really crappy job. I mean, I know they did it because that was their job and they didn't have much options in life, but that's crazy. Literally just shoveling coal. It's a back-breaking, laborious task. Oh, can we get into the cargo hold? Yeah, we can. There it is. Oh. Where's the car at? Can we see the car? Found it! Here it is! Oh my god, there's a car. Oh, really, game? You told me to come check out the car in the cargo hold, and I can't click on it when in the main game you can click on it? You're being lazy. Oh. So in the game, you had to turn the headlights on. It revealed this crate here, which had the painting inside it, and on the back of the painting was battle plans, a war map, blah, 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 blah. Part of the game. It's an awesome story. Anyway. Well, I guess we're done in here. So let's go up to the forecastle deck, or the folk school deck. I still don't know how to perfectly pronounce that. Bushi, look where we are. Oh my god, it is outstanding. Can we please step up and do the whole King of the World thing? I hear it is the most fun thing to do on a ship ever. Not allowed to go any further forwards. Thank you, game, for putting that roadblock in. That's awesome, though. That's really cool. I really like it. I really do. No joking, no mocking. That's awesome, damn it. Right. So, I think it's just because Titanic is so beautiful. All of the shapes, the curves, just the aesthetic of it. It just looks lovely. It really does. White Star Line had a really good knack for like symmetry, for style. They did good. How are we doing on these tours? Done, Gym, Brunesian Bridge, Wireless Boiler, Turkish Bath. Haven't got long to go. Oh, we've only got 2 more to go. So the aft well deck. Okay, and then the first class smoking lounge. Okay, let's make our way to the aft grand staircase and then head to the smoking lounge. We're going to check out the Caf Parisian. We'll head out onto the well deck and go speak to Penny Pringle. And then that would be that. Right, Bush, we've got a plan. Let's just quickly run down the promenade. And that is literally running. That is sprinting at an extreme speed. So that's the aft mast right ahead of us. I'm sure you didn't need me to tell you that. But what I didn't know until only a couple of years ago, because I never looked for it. A lot of the things you realize about Titanic and that is stuff hidden in plain sight. There's this ladder, like just here, and you can climb up the outside of the mast. It's awesome. Aft grand staircase. I nearly forgot what we was even doing. So, let's go onto the aft grand staircase. Oh, would you look at this? It's beautiful. Not quite as beautiful as the forward grand staircase. Smoking room. No ladies around. Any ladies watching in the comments or whatever, you have to step outside for a second. I'll shout when you can come back in. Right. Okay. Can we get a look at this artwork first? Look at this. Approach of a New World or something like that. I can't remember its name. I should really remember its name. Again, that's from Olympic, not Titanic's. But the game wasn't to know better because this is 1990. Well, when this was made, 96 or whatever, or reasons, stuff. Anyway, backing up very quickly. Glorious room, nice ceiling moldings that I own a piece of. Just chucking that in there for fun. I believe we can speak to you, my man. Yeah, we can.
My name is Eric Burns. I'm a photographer. Did you get a cigar? Smethels tells me we have 8,000 of them on board.
Is that so?
These are some of my photos.
Hi!
This lady's Molly Brown of Denver. She was a waitress who married a gold miner who struck it rich. Once a nobody, she now knows everybody. This is Bruce Ismay, the president of the White Star Line.
Hey,
He's the
Brucey.
second Ismay to join the family firm. He just came along for the ride on this trip. Left his wife back home in England. Some days I wish I'd left my wife back home in the States. That's Thomas Andrews,
Hey,
the
Tommy.
Titanic's designer. He's along so he can find flaws with the ship's operation and correct them before the return voyage. You'll probably see him everywhere you go. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Eric Burns. And yes, Bruce Ismay, can I please get a Brucey bonus? That would be amazing. So in the game, you can play blackjack in here, and as part of the story, you have to gamble with the rubaiyat or the necklace, I forget which. Again, it's been a long time since I played the game. Maybe I should do a live stream where I play back through the game. That could be fun. Anyway, so we're closing up to an end. I'm sorry if I'm kind of blitzing through these rooms a bit quick. It's just, I don't want this video to overrun. It's already been recording for 42 minutes. So, kind of do need to pick up the pace. Caparizian? Yeah, you can! The music, sorry, I'm loving it. I am in real time hearing these tunes again for the first time in years. Anyway, can we have a look at some of these things? Oh, look at this. It's full of plates and everything. Thanks, game. Oh, a shooting star. That's good luck. Make a wish, everybody. I wish for 1 million subscribers. What I really appreciate about this game is that the time period, it was much more than a game. This tour itself is a great example of how they really cared about the history, like more so than just like a money-hungry business just trying to get a quick buck turnaround from a game. There's lots of historical information in this, from the photographs to the stories to the accounts that they're telling. I mean, sure, it comes with its own issues, but give it a break. It's amazing. It's amazing, damn it. Here we are. We've come back to the second-class stairs. Oh, I like that music. What's your favorite song in this game? Because I think mine is that one that we heard on the bridge, the bum bum bum. And not because it says bum over and over, just because it's I don't know, it's chilling. All of this music has a somber undertone. To poop deck, like it's insidious, it's menacing, it isn't happy and jolly. Where'd you go? Oh my God, Penny Pringle! It's spooky.
I suppose you know what happened. It was horrible. I barely made it into the lifeboat and onto the Carpathia. There weren't nearly enough of them. Lifeboats, that is. We really didn't know what happened until we arrived in New York. This is what one of the newspapers reported.
At 11:40 p.m. on April 14th, the Titanic hit a huge iceberg. The impact ripped the hull apart at its seams, allowing the Atlantic to flow into the ship's hull. The ship sank at 2:18 a.m. on April 15th, carrying more than 1,500 people to their graves below the Atlantic.
Words don't do it justice. The scene at the dock in New York was amazing. Dead silence as we made our way to the mooring. Then pandemonium. I saw Vincent Astor the younger. Somehow he'd made his way on board. He found Mrs. Astor. Mr. Astor went down with the ship. They say the White Star office was mobbed with relatives. So many of them were disappointed. Major Butt died. So did Mr. Guggenheim and young Mr. Andrews. Both of the Strausses went down. Mrs. Strauss refused to leave her husband. Perhaps she was wise. Ismay made it onto a lifeboat and now everyone's calling him a coward. I'll never forget it. It looked as if a huge skyscraper was being sucked into the sea.
The Titanic is unsinkable.
Only God could sink this ship.
We won't sink. This is the 20th century.
I was lucky to get off alive.
Seeing the photographs of all the people in New York and everyone just kind of waiting to get answers of their loved ones, it just, I don't know, I wasn't expecting it, but it kind of just really hit. Because today is April 15th, 2017. Today is the 105th anniversary of the sinking of this ship. And while I didn't exactly intend to play this game today, yesterday's Whistle Special was supposed to be today's video, but in a way that's actually a very, very fitting climax to this episode. Because now we can kind of, I don't know, reflect on the history of it all. I mean, just 105 years, still here, still remembering, still talking about all these people, remembering their lives, what they did, remembering what happened. I like to think that over the years, the blame game has totally died down a lot. I think that most people come to terms that it isn't really a case of blame. It was just a terrible accident, that, yeah, sure, there are things that would have avoided disaster if they had been done, but, you know, hindsight is always 20/20 vision, right? It is what it is. It happened, but good can come of bad. The thing about us is we always find that bit of light in the darkness. Because of this, change happens. You got the International Iceberg Patrol that are always monitoring where these dangerous icebergs are at. Ships now have enough lifeboats for all on board. But the buck didn't even end here in 1912. Even as early as, I forget when the Costa Concordia sank. I want to say what, 2014? I forget when that was. Even that was causing change. Previously to her, you didn't have to have a lifeboat drill before departing dock, but since the sinking of the Costa Concordia, it's now law that you have a muster drill, so everybody knows where the life jackets are, where the muster stations are, and how, in the event of emergency, they will evacuate. That now has to happen before you depart dock. Bad things do happen at sea, but we always learn from it, and it makes us a bit better afterwards. The world is a safer place for it. That said, it still is terribly, terribly sad that Titanic sank and so many people died, so many families were destroyed. But I don't know, in 105 years, ain't nobody going to be talking about Spammals, you know? I know that's not really a consequence or a comfort. I'm sure these people would rather have lived than to be remembered as long as they have. But in a small way, the fact that we do remember them does keep their name, their legacy, their story living on that little bit longer. As long as we keep telling the story, the flame will never go out. I think I'm going to call this an episode right about here. Can we at least go stand somewhere nice for this? Hang on. So this has been Titanic Adventure Out of Time Tour Mode, featuring the tour guides of the game. The game only shipped with 3 of them. You had to download all of them. It's a bit of a pain today because the official website doesn't exist anymore, but luckily there's loads of fan sites out there helping keeping this game alive and to help keep it running for future generations, because Windows 10, you can't play it. You have to get a DOS box. It's a bit of a faff. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. It's been a pleasure and a joy to return to the game and get another dose of nostalgia. I would like to play the game again, but I'm not going to do a video of that. But it's something I might explore during a live stream. But we'll see. Maybe next year, maybe. Anyway, if you have any thoughts and opinions, leave a comment down below. I do read every single one. I'm trying my best to reply to them, especially over Titanic Week. We have hundreds of comments coming in every single day. It's taking a long time to get through them, but I swear I will get to you. Just have faith, I will get there. And on that, we are kind of at the end of Titanic Week. This is supposed to be a 10-day Titanic Week. We're on day 8. I'm afraid I might have to cut this one a little bit short. And the reason being is I had planned for a game that was not yet released to be released in time for this, and that was an assumption of my own. I wasn't given the information by the game developers, but it hasn't been released just yet, so that's left a bit of a gap at the end of this event. So I think I have one more video coming up tomorrow, day 9. I'll see if there's, it might be the end. If I can get a day 10 in, then that'd be super duper. But let's just say, a little bit further down into the month, we will return to Titanic with some very exciting gameplay. Anyway, on that bombshell, thank you for watching. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everybody!